It was kind of a vintage Alekhine win of my 3 games, and then the 2 losses were both in the bird. They were in my new opening. So speaking of the Alekhine, let's get an Alekhine. One F6. All right, E5. Let's jump around. They're gonna kick my knight around. Probably C4. Yeah. So my new opening in the tournament over the weekend kind of failed me, to be honest. But I can't really blame it on the opening, because like I said, in one of those games I was just plain winning out of the opening, so the bird was a success in that one. I just didn't capitalize. Okay, so we got this line. So they're playing this a little bit more conservatively. Yeah, like they're playing this solidly. White secures like a decent advantage here. But yeah, instead of, they could have gone for the 4 pawns attack there. There were other ways to play this. So they play this kind of solidly with knight here. I'm gonna keep the tension here. I like this tension. I think this is serving me, the tension between these 2 pawns. There's no reason to clarify the position here. Yeah, I mean, it was my first, like, tournament, so to speak. However, I don't know, I've played a lot of over-the-board chess at this point, so I honestly wasn't nervous. Yeah, I gotta say, I wasn't nervous. You know, honestly, Taco, I think I don't get as nervous as other people, you know, which is a huge asset for sure. Okay, so we're waiting on our opponent here. All right, so bishop there. Okay, makes sense. We're gonna fianchetto. All right, this looks good. Castles. I don't see any reason not to castle. We can play this if we want, but I like this. Yeah. Let's just castle. We're gonna play knight c6 on the next move and really try to ramp up the pressure on this pawn in particular. Yeah, of course, if they push, we just take. We win a pawn. So, that's why I like keeping this pawn here, keeping this tension on the board. I don't want to clarify the position for my opponents ever. And this bishop works very, very nicely with these pawns on dark squares to pressure white center. Okay, but they're gonna get their own fianchetto, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I haven't seen this too much. This bishop here in the Alekhine. It's very interesting. What to do? I think I can take here. Taking looks good. I can also continue pressuring this pawn. Yeah, with bishop here, I'm continuing to pressure this pawn, actually. Indirectly, I'm pressuring this pawn. Maybe keep an eye on this move. This move looks good. E6. And I can't really take back with the bishop there because then they fork. Yeah. That would have been an interesting pawn sacrifice. I can take back with the pawn there. That would have been an interesting pawn sacrifice. I wonder if just here, simply here. I'm just gonna take here. Interesting. I don't know what's happening here. They're gonna have a pawn on e5. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do here. It's very interesting. Okay, so this. I'm going to start with taking. And then I'm going to think about my knight jumping in here. Can also counterattack here with bishop here and e4 is an interesting idea. The only thing I don't like about that is then we probably get a trade of bishops, which is not necessarily what I'm going for. At the same time, we're just up a pawn there. We're just up a pawn. So the only thing is they can take back with the bishop, but if they take back with the bishop, I can safely jump my knight in here. That looks great. So they should take back with a knight, and my knight is hanging, but in the end, I can counterattack their knight. But then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is not the way to play this. I don't have to counterattack their knight on the next move. The knight. So I'm expecting the knight to recapture, and I always have this. This knight d4 is the safe move. It does give back the pawn, but it preserves my nice pawn structure on the queen side here. I'm expecting knight takes. If bishop takes, then knight d4 would be great. Okay, so here, this is the move I was considering, which is a bit speculative, to be honest with you. So e5. Yeah, the thing is, it's not really that big of a threat. Okay, so e5, they kind of have to trade here, trade these bishops, because the bishop's hanging. But then what I don't like is that in the end, the knight gets here, and it's attacking my pawn. And it's unclear what I've actually accomplished there. At the same time, okay, so also e4 takes. They can take here, then I take. They take. They're threatening to win my rook there. I take. I'm attacking their queen. They take. That does not look good to me. That does not look good. So this is like the sketchy move that I wanted to make, but I don't think it's actually good. So e4 takes. Yeah, I don't want them to end up. I don't want them to take here on b7. That's gonna be like a big problem. So knight d4, just giving back the pawn, seems like the way I have to play this. And now, once again, what I'm not liking is that we're very likely to get a trade of these bishops, which I didn't really want to do. This dark squared bishop is a great ad targeting by Twitch. I've had the same makeup ad twice. Taco, have you been wearing much makeup lately? What are we talking? Blush, eyeliner, mascara. Like, what's your flavor of taco lately? What's your flavor of makeup lately? Taco. What's your flavor of makeup, and also what's your flavor of taco lately? Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking about. I mean, they can just win a pawn here. There's nothing really to think about. Like, this is practically automatic. I mean, I guess they're choosing between two very good moves, which they can take here, threatening to win the knight, but then I take here with check. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. This looks good. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to acquiesce to the bishop trade. The only other option is I could consider e5. But then they just en passant. That's actually not good. It's actually not good. We could take here, and then the queen takes, and then the queen is a little bit misplaced there. So let's just go for that. The queen is undefended here, so we can kind of take advantage of that with c6 or e6. I think c6 is a little bit more solid. And we have a weak king for sure. With our fianchetto bishop gone, we have a lot of weak dark squares around my king. For the time being, it should be okay. Probably white should throw this pawn down the board at some point. I don't know. Maybe not on this move because we're threatening to win a pawn. But this is what they should go for ultimately. So this, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I like e6, however, then they just push. e6 is not good here. I can blockade with my queen at the same time. No, that walks into a fork. Alright, let's take this way. If they take with the pawn, then I can blockade with my queen, and that looks great to me. That honestly looks great. Queens are not great blockaders generally. At the same time, we're coordinating our rooks, and eventually we can reorient this knight to be the blockading piece. Knights are the best blockaders. of pawns. We can also challenge. I'm fully expecting the pawn to take back. If the bishop takes, I will take with the knight. Yeah, I'll just take it. We can also consider. Yeah, okay. So this. Just double checking. Yeah, queen up looks all right. All right, and now we can double on this file safely. It's been about 2 years since I've worn makeup. That's another story. Yeah. Did you get a black eye or something? You're currently loving guac on my tacos. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm gonna be honest, I can't even remember the last time I had a taco. I do like tacos, and I really love this Mexican place near me in Hell's Kitchen. That's called Planet Taco, and they have a lot of really great flavors. But I don't get tacos there. I get their burritos. I actually can't remember the last time I got a taco. I wonder if I should ramp up pressure on this pawn. Like if I can just double here, like I could even put both rooks on the d file, and then we'll have all of our pieces aimed at this pawn, and then eventually we probably could play e6. Like I wonder if that's the plan of action here. I'm expecting white to play this. If white plays this, I actually don't want to allow that pawn to continue like marching down the board, and so I'll definitely consider playing h5. So rook here. Okay, so now let's threaten to win the pawn. Let's threaten to win the pawn. The other thing this move does is it prepares rook d7. I could have gone with either rook there. I like this one a little bit better because it keeps the f rook planted in defense of my king for at least another move. Although maybe it doesn't really make any difference because on the next move we're just going to play this. So now I can win this pawn. Yeah, now I can win this pawn. This pawn potentially drops there. I could start by protecting the pawn. They're also threatening. Yeah, okay, so let's go through with my idea. Oh, the only thing, bishop here could be annoying. We could maybe consider blocking, but that's a bit strange to play that way. Rook here, bishop here. Yeah, that's annoying. Bishop here. Okay, so I could prevent bishop there with h5. So now I'm nicely restricting. Okay, so this is the threat. There's a threat. There's a threat on the board. Bishop takes. I probably can't allow it. To be honest, it's just I don't like this. I'm kind of getting myself into trouble there. King here. I probably just need to go for the trade here. It's as much as I don't want to, as much as I want to. I don't want to play this way. I think I'm like kind of getting myself into trouble here. I think I need to go for the queen trade. Yeah. They can sneak in with the queen. Yeah, it's not really a problem. Yeah, they have to respond to this. Just gonna take back with the pawn. We'll have double pawns there. I really don't think it's the end of the world. My king will be super safe. Yeah. I was crazy Britney Spears for Halloween. Taco, I gotta see that. I gotta see that costume. Gotta see that fit. Crazy. Taco, what are your pronouns? I think you're a guy, but I really can't tell, honestly. Because hypothetically, definitely a guy could have a crazy Britney costume. Okay, so this is still the threat. I could try queen. I could try h4 is interesting, but then it's kind of. So let's just step aside with my king. Everything's defended. Everything's safe. This pawn's defended. There's no shenanigans, I don't think. For the time being, everything's safe here. Yeah, that's what I thought, Taco. Somehow. Somehow that's what I thought. A big dude, that's what made it a great costume. I can only imagine. I'm sure it was one for the ages, Taco. Crazy Britney for Halloween. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so this. It's a good move. I don't think it's a huge problem just yet. I think I'm just going to ramp up pressure on this pawn. With rook here, they can double, but this pawn is really well defended. This pawn is really well defended. There's nothing to worry about just yet. This queen is actually really nicely placed here. My queen is nicely placed here. They could try d6. d6 is interesting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. I wonder if I could take here. Take, queen takes, take. So we get a bishop and a rook for a queen. That's not a good trade. That is not a good trade. Fuck. I'm in trouble here. I'm definitely in trouble here. Probably I need to go rook up. I think I have to play this. I'm winning a pawn back there, which is not nothing. And very, very important that this rook is like kind of guarding this this file here. I'm sorry, this row here. This rank. 5th rank. Okay. Without further ado, let's make some moves because I'm getting low on time. I'm gonna pre-move taking back with the rook. Actually, they have some back rank issues here. They have something to keep an eye on. They have some back rank here. But the only thing is, the bishop's defending this square, so that's a key detail. I don't think there's any shenanigans. Like, the queen comes here, my king just gets out of the way. That's not a big deal. Okay, so this. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Queen here. Bishop there. Well, no, I just take, actually. I just take here. I mean, that's, yeah. This is the simplest. And now this is a big threat. So I can go queen here and then ramp up the pressure with knight here. Seems like the simple way to go. Yeah, this is a bad pin for... I'm just making sure there's no shenanigans. I should be winning here, unless I'm going crazy. I think I'm winning here, because I'm gonna win a piece here. I have to be winning here. Yeah, and okay. Fuck. Queen comes here. I'm wondering if there's a perpetual check there. Hopefully my king can kind of slip out somehow. They come here. I think my king can slide to safety eventually. Slowly but surely, I think my king's getting to safety. Eventually. Yeah, I think I'm winning here still. Because the thing is, my king's gonna zigzag around the board and find its way all the way over here, maybe. All the way over here. I think. Unless I'm going crazy, which I might be. And of course, obviously, like, this is a big threat. So, like, White has to try keep, like, just giving me checks for eternity. Like, that's the only thing, that's the only way to play this, really, for White. They have to just keep giving me checks. I gotta be careful, like, what are the threats here? Again, my queen defends. It's a key detail. Queen defends. And now my opponent's getting low on time here. So I'm gonna try to just trick them somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way, if I can. Wait, I'm just making sure I'm not getting into trouble there. No, I'm not. Or am I? I think I'm safe here. Yeah, I'm safe here. Yep. Yeah, I was winning. In the final position, I'm winning. I'm totally winning in the final position. Crazy game. Crazy game. Definitely some stuff to analyze. I was kind of on the ropes there. Like, I was kind of in trouble. My opponent was the one making all the threats for a while there, and somehow it turned around in the end game. Yeah, I think that bishop back move was the key mistake. But let's take a look. So we got an Alekhine. My Alekhine is performing well, continues to perform well. So I don't see any reason to play anything else against the against e4. Bishop g7. I don't know how the heck that's an inaccuracy. I mean, this is how I've always played the position. I guess we just take here. I guess we just take on e5. And they take back with the knight though. Probably they take back with the knight. This is much more harmonious. Taking back with the pawn, and this pawn on e5 is like a little bit overextended, and it becomes hard to defend. So they really should be taking back. And this is indeed the engine's recommendation. With knight takes e5. So yeah, I should just be taking back here. So I was just happy to allow this tension. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed it. Yeah, once again, the engine's saying you gotta just take there. Okay, whatever. And apparently I had a miss here? How is this a miss? How the fuck is this a miss? I mean, I'm not winning this pawn. I guess I am winning this pawn. After knight c6, this pawn is a goner. But they can defend. They can continue to defend it, though. That's the thing. I can trade here. I'm not really understanding this. Oh, we can add one final attacker. And this doesn't work. This sacrifice doesn't work because the bishop's undefended. They can take, and then I take, and then they take. And in the end, I'm just up a piece. I'm sorry, I'm up an exchange here, I think. Right? Yeah. I'm just up an exchange. Yeah. So I guess I should have. I missed that. I had a way to win that pawn. Oops. Anyway, I allowed those pawns. I allowed the tension. I tried to pressure the center indirectly by putting this bishop here, threatening to take and win a pawn. We finally did take. I guess not at the right time. And right around here, this is slightly awkward for me. And after takes, White has regained the pawn. And they have the bishop pair. They have two bishops versus my bishop and knight. And they have this beautiful connect four. They have a beautiful pawn chain. At the same time, I don't really have any weaknesses in my position. Like, this pawn structure is super, super solid. I can eventually play c6 or something like that. This knight is miserable, but I can reroute it. So this knight is miserable. That's what gives White a big advantage, really, here. I did my best to activate it. Ultimately, that knight ended up being a key defensive piece. And this is all just defending. I thought takes was totally fine. This looked fine to me. Yeah, we got doubled pawns, but who cares? I'm gonna, like, ramp up the pressure on this pawn. And just figured I could win it eventually. So this looked alright to me. I don't know why that was so bad. And here I thought I defended really well. Oh, I was just losing here. I was dead loss after h4. Now, I don't understand this at all. No, wait. No, I was winning here after h4. And the queen... I don't understand this, though. g5. And then what? Oh, the rook's undefended. And this rook is defended. So the queen can't take. Oh my god, look at that. They can give me this check, doesn't matter at all. I just slide aside. Yeah, wow. Look at that. Look at that. I was just winning. I missed that. Okay, so I missed the tactic. But I thought I still defended well. And this looked great to me. I guess this is just a draw, but I thought I could get my king, could zigzag my king around. And here I'm winning. Yeah.